Hey, ladies and gents, it's Zam, and we are back with the SU-85I. This is the one for sale for 3 days, I believe. So you have one more day to buy this thing. What do I say about it? All right, I bought this thing way back 2014, 2015. I didn't played more than handful of games with it. Never played it again. I never thought it was going to come back on sale. I was actually going to do a kind of a rare tank thing with this. I know the SU-75I, the other one, is far rare. It was only offered one time on the NA server, and that was only for 1 day. I think it was a mistake. However, this one, like I said, was around for a little while and then taken out of the shop, and now out of the retirement program or whatever, and now it's back in the shop. What is the SU-85I? Well, it was a captured PZ-3 hull, and the Russians decided to mount an 85mm gun on it. That's it. Never went in production. I don't believe they made more than a handful, maybe one. That's about it. I've seen the pictures of it. So yeah, they did build this tank, but that was the extent of it. And if I'm going to be honest, this is, I mean, all it is a Russian Stug. The Stug 3 Tier 5 tank. They have somewhat similar characteristics, but yeah, it is the Russian Stug. You know, a captured PZ-3 hull. They welded a box on the top of it and put an 85mm gun into it. However, that's really kind of a knock toward the Stug, because this is not a Stug 3. Stug 3 is a epic machine. Compared to this machine, and I played a lot of tanks, and I usually don't have a whole lot of bad things to say about tanks. This is a beast at Tier 5 TD. This has been for a long time. This was a sad, really shitty copy of the Stug 3. I played my arbitrary 10 games into it that I always do for these reviews. Played it with just a 100% crew. Didn't have anything special on it. Yeah, this thing's just terrible. And I'm gonna run the comparison on them between the SU-85 and the Stug 3, because these tanks they're essentially the same thing. One's got an 85mm, one's got a 75mm. One's Russian, one's German. You know, hey, but they are somewhat similar. And we're gonna look at the stats on here. So we got 160 average damage for the SU-85I and 135 for the Stug. So yes, the SU-85 does have a higher average damage per minute rate than the Stug. Not surprising. Problem is, it sucks everywhere else. I mean, literally. It's shit pen, 119 compared to 150 for the Stug. I mean, of course, this is a premium premium tank, which should be less than what's in game, but it just has no redeeming qualities past the fact that it does 2,500 plus average damage per minute with rammers, vents, and 100% crew. That's the only 400 plus more damage than the Stug 3. Problem is you can't hit shit with this gun. And I'll be brutally honest, it's a Russian gun, full bloom, fire on the move. You'll fucking hit something, aim at something. It's a 50-50 crapshoot. Fucking gun trolls you non-stop. I mean, you can just look at the stats. 0.39 dispersion compared to 0.3. Aim time, 2.11 compared to 1.56. Yeah, it's just that much better. And I won't even go into the rest of the stats. The Stug does it better with this kind of setup. Honestly, I'm going to give it a thumbs down. If you are only interested as a collector's item, something that you rarely see, or if you're, you know, a sadist, and you really want to put yourself in a position to play this tank, by all means go buy it. This is not something I'd drop 60 some bucks and 40 some bucks on the tank, even if you had all the other bullshit with it. There is better trainers in the, I mean, I'll take the SU-122-44 with the shitty gun handling, or the SU-100Y shitty gun handling, because when you do hit, you're going to do 400 damage, not 160. So yeah, I mean, I can deal with the bad shots when you do hit somebody for that much damage with those two tanks, compared to this one with the 160 and then screaming at yourself. I mean, it does have a fast reload, you know, all that kind of bullshit. 160 average damage per shot, 119 average penetration, 15.8 rate of fire, 3.8 second reload time, 5 degrees of gun depression, and 10 degrees gun traverse. The Stug has 15. This has got a very narrow gun arc, and you find yourself always fucking around trying to get on target. 0.39 dispersion, shit, 2,528 average damage per minute. The only redeeming quality of that gun, only redeeming quality. 380 for the hit points, 60, 30, 50. Yep. And of course, decent. Actually, the mobility is one of its other. Is probably its only real plus. It does not have armor. It does not have a accurate, effective gun. You have to play this at a reasonable distance, not get spotted, sit in your bush. However, that only works really well if you have a gun that can actually hit something. 421 with my binocs on here. I think it's 3 something. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great view range, not great signal range. The concealment's not bad. It's not great either. So yeah, it for the most part is. I'm gonna give it a thumbs down. I mean, we're not talking AT2 turd like, but it's slightly better than that. There's just so many more. There's just better TDs, premium TDs in the Russian lines that you would spend your money on, like the ISU-122S or the SU-122-44, SU-100. Any of those are better than this. This is only if you're going to buy this for as a collector's. Don't rely on it to make you a ton of money, and of course, because you have to hit something to do damage. Otherwise, you're just throwing shit up. And you're going to see in the videos what I'm talking about with this fucking gun. Yeah. So I'm gonna bring up the gameplay for you guys to check out the SU-85I and see what you think. Alright guys, back with the gameplay in the SU-85I. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, this thing, if you run into tier 7s with this thing, it's fucking a joke, because 116 or 119 pen or whatever it is, 119 pen, you will struggle against anything. A lot of tanks at tier 7. However, 5s, 6s, you'll be kind of alright. I usually play my arbitrary about 10, 12 games in these tanks, and then, yeah, that's about all I could handle with this one. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem for the most part. I love the Stug. It's probably one of my favorite tanks when I first started playing the game, and I played the shit out of it. But my big thing is always, I always prefer accurate guns. The rest of the tank could be absolute shit, but as long as the stupid gun hit, I would be fine, right? This tank, however, with the 119 pen and the 0.39 dispersion and all the other bullshit problems with this gun, just does not, it just doesn't do it for me, right? Some people say it's alright, armor just doesn't do anything for you. It's actually less armored than the Stug and a higher profile tank than the Stug. So yeah, it just does not have a whole lot of nothing going for this tank here. So put my first shot into the 25 TP. You know, it's a Russian, so it does have decent camouflage. You know, built on the PZ3 chassis, it does have decent mobility. Like I said, not real bad, but here's kind of what I'm talking about with this fucking gun. We got a T-34. Let's see here. Right there. No, ricochet, so we're kind of see if we can aim for that idler. Nope, can't get that. How about right there? Nope. He's behind a little concrete barrier, and I'm aiming, and you can see the shells. There. Yeah, okay, come on, let's see if we can get him. He's just showing, nope, nothing. If I was driving a Stug, I would have hit at least half of them shells. They might have bounced, but they at least would have fucking hit. Yeah, so the gunplay on it is disappointing. You know, I've had this tank forever, and now I remember why I didn't play it more than 5 games. And that limited traverse, too, really does not help this tank. You're constantly moving back and forth to get shots. But hey, whatever. I'm just being brutally honest here. If you're just looking for a collector's tank, fucking go buy it. If you're not, there's better TDs in the Russian line to choose from. So this part has kind of cleared up here, and we're going to get on our fucking way here. I'm not going to sit here and stare at 2 tanks with 2 4, 5 other tanks. So I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to go and get me some damage, some glory, and we're off on the run here. We're looking for something here in the middle, and I'm kind of thinking maybe, just maybe, that some of these guys, there's a bunch of these tanks that haven't been spotted yet, might trot down here to go around the corner. And let's see here, nothing. Churchill 3, he's been hanging out here on the corner with most of his health gone. I think he's been playing against the PZ-4H. Something like that. Nothing. So we're just going to hang out here and see what we can find. Maybe the PZ-4H would be kind enough to drive around the corner for me. Please. Nope. He's getting beat up by the T-25 TP that has a pretty nice little gun. You know, quick aiming, fires quickly, that kind of thing. So, nothing. We're going to have to get a little bit more aggressive here. And this is not something you should be doing in this tank. You should be hugging yourself in a bush. Hopefully the bad man don't see you. However, since it is Paris, it is such a lovely map for TDs. If you're not hiding out in the center here, nothing going on here. And let's see what we can do. T-67's here. Churchill moves up here. Come on, buddy, finish his ass off. There you go. And now we can get rolling here. Since we have a pretty good idea that Skoda's out there, PZ-4H is here, and the left is running around. However, I got the KV-1 and the T-34S right here. Bow around the corner we go. T-34S, these guys are all one-shots. We'll see what we can do. Come around the corner. Oh, there is the T-34. And he nails me with a fucking HE shell. What? And the KV-1 pulls a bullshit shot out of his ass. Thank you, KV-1. Lovely. Yep, like you said. Fucking Swiss cheese. The front does not stop anything at all. It is not the best at... Yeah. So no armor. The troll gun of troll guns at tier 5. I'm not going to go around the kid. There's a PZ-4H there. I don't really want to deal with that. KV-1S with the derp gun. Lovely. Yeah, he fires in the mood. Misses the... Oh, but then he rams the PZ-34. Fuck, I'll take that. Thank you, sir, for the ram. Gets shot in the side by the T-67. And we're going to look. I'm pretty sure the T-67 was sitting on the far corner over there on the 0 line. And we're going to wait for the KV-1S. He's going to be my turkey. He's going to go around and see if he takes the shot. So the T-67 finishes off the KV-1. And what do we got here? Rusty Shackelford. Let's see if he's going to poke. Pokey. Come on, buddy. See what you got. I know he's going to do it. As soon as I move, he's going to poke. Almost positive. And I was thinking to myself, exactly in this game, yep, as soon as yep, fucker, there he is. And we're going to auto-aim it. And bounce his shot. So completely disregard everything I said about this tank. It is epic. No, that's 1 in a 500 million shot that this thing has actually penned anything. Pick up the Skoda T-24. You know, like I said earlier, Russian bias, full bloom every time, all the time, hits 100% of the time. Yep, that's how you play this tank. Full bloom, just let her go. Let it buck. Maybe that's the better word for you. So, pick up the left. Oh, doggy, come on, buddy. There we go, finishing off the left. So, and I had both these games back-to-back. This game and the next one I'm going to show you. I was just fucking beating myself up with this game, or with this tank. I'm like, alright, so I just had 2 decent games in the little bugger, and we're going to do this review. So, one more game for you guys to check out the SU-85I. Alright, back with the second game in the SU-85I. And I'm not going to, you know, when I do the reviews, I do the tanks with just 100% crew on them. I tried like 2 games with this tank with a 50% crew, and it was fucking horrible. You want to talk about 0.39 dispersion at 100%? Try like 0.44 dispersion with a 50% crew. This tank might get better a little bit if you get a really well-trained crew in it. But as a crew builder, as a crew trainer, where you're going to start with a tank that's 75% crew or 100% crew and you get a couple skills on it, it just doesn't do it, right? I mean, you can take the Stug, put a crappy crew into it and start out, and you're still going to end up with pretty good gun handling. This one, yeah, you really have to build on this thing to make it work. So we're on desert, Sand River, as we used to call it back in the day. Yeah. So get up here into my little snipey, shooty hole, because that's what this thing does. Like I said, with a tank with that crappy of armor and that crappy of gun handling, you're kind of fucked, because you can't go play face up with something. You have to rely on your staying out of range, where you can get spotted and all that stuff. And then that literally comes into the problem with the shitty gun handling on this tank. You know, you have to be, you can't take hits because you have nothing to stop it, and you have to be able to play at a distance with a gun that trolls with 0.39 dispersion. Once again, it's not an easy tank. Maybe that's the word for it. You know, it's not something that I would, okay, I'm going to pick this over the SU-122S or you know, even the SU-122-44 has pretty shitty gun handling, but like I said, when it hits for 400, what's the difference? Big slow rounds, they always drop most of the time, and you're going to watch the shell. Yep, nope, no clue. Yeah, let's see here. No, we're going to go over there. Come on, there you go. KB1 pulls up there. One right down the barrel. And the next one to the dirt. Let's see here. I'm trying to get a track. Hopefully put him in place there so he doesn't move. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen. 5 degrees of gun depression. You really have to work on these hills, trying to get yourself in a position to shoot over something, because you just don't have the gun depression to do it. The Stug has 7 degrees gun depression, which helps a lot. This one with 5. Not easy to sometimes work on a hill, because it just can't quite get over it. Oh, and the fact that it does have the Panzer III cupola, which is a massive tumor on top of the tank. So even if you were somewhat hiding, you have that big fucking thing sticking up. And everybody knows it, that it can easily be penned and all that kind of crap. So nothing happened here. KV-1's makes a run across there just as I move up here. So we got the P2640. Nope. SU-100Y says no. KV-1, you are not getting away here. So we're looking here. We got T14, T1 Heavy moving up here, and I'm just making sure I'm keeping my distance here as much as possible. So look at the OI, no shot on him. Got the P46, P2640 right here, die grinder. OI, no, we're going to put a shot in there, nothing. So we're going to switch back over to this cat. There he goes. He pulls up here. Long ass aim time. And I pull off some kind of a bullshit RNG, you know. I kind of jerked it right at the end, and she fucking went right down the barrel. This tank, it kills me. Can't quite get the shot on the M4. Like I said, with that slow round, yeah, you got to be someone kind of on the ball, because otherwise it's a real crapshoot to hit some here. Pick up the Hetzer. What are you doing, buddy? He's hiding behind the hill. Can't skid him. Looking for the Dickermax. He's not showing up. And the M4 E8 is hanging out there. And he can wreck my shit really quick. I can't. I mean, I have a pretty fast reload. But he has a faster one here. So looking for the FE304. He was just above the top of that thing here. And can I get it? Nope. Nothing there. And we got the E8 coming pushing in here on the PZ4. And of course the SU-100Y. So here he comes. E8s are fine. E2s, you have no fucking chance of penning them frontally with that 100 to 216 pen. Even with premium rounds, you can't pen them. OIs, fucking don't even try. You're just wasting your shells. They are just, yeah. I can't tell you enough about how bad the pen is on this gun. Perfectly fine against other 5s, 4s. 6s and 7s. Occasionally when you do see the 7, I think I've had 1, maybe 2 games in 7s. Yeah. Most of the games were against 6s. I think I had 1, but I could be wrong. I would have to go back and look through the videos. But whatever, it just does not have the gun handling to deal with anything. It can't hit weak spots. And like I said, for the most part, with the 116 pen, it struggles at just about everything else. Here, find the Stuke 3G. He's sitting in the bush. And put one bullshit fucking RNG out there. And now I can just see the front of his tank here. And we're going to see here. There's 2. There's 3. Let's see here. There's 4. Not even fucking close to the center. There's... No, 5. Come on, one more. Oh, I finally hit something. Armor not penetrated, of course. There we go. 5 out of 7 shots. I mean, yeah, it was a small target to hit, but they were not even relatively close. A lot of those shots, they were fucking left, right. Yeah, it's just a slow round. It just does not do this tank very well. So, kind of a recap of everything that I just said. If you're into the collecting thing, get it. If you're looking for a good Russian TD, premium TD, fucking forget it. Go buy the SU-122S or the SU-122-44 or even the SU-100Y. They are better than this. This thing doesn't train crews well because you're going to get frustrated as fuck because you can't hit anything. Yeah. So with that said, have a good night. Thanks for watching, guys.